Good morning. Good morning. I hope everybody is doing good this morning. I miss y'all. So y'all come on in the room. Oh, look, I'm gonna try not. You know what? I'm gonna address that in a minute. But I almost said I'm gonna try not to be too excited this morning. But you know what? No, I am going to be excited this morning. And I think that you should be excited this morning too. So as you come on in the room, please go ahead and share the broadcast. We're only with you for a short while this morning, and this short while is going to be good. My guest is in the background making me laugh a little bit. But y'all come on in the room and y'all please share. Hey, good morning. Of course, my aces. Joanna, good morning. Good morning. Olivia, good morning. I'm so happy to see y'all this morning. Y'all go ahead and share this broadcast this morning. I would say that I'll share it too, but it's on my page. So yeah. But y'all come on in this morning. Thank you, Olivia, for sharing. I greatly appreciate you. Y'all come on in. This morning is gonna be good. Y'all, I feel like I have like my second, third, and fourth win. I was telling my friend that this morning. I was like, man, I feel like I got a fresh win. I'm ready to go again. So it's 7:32. Let's go ahead and get let's get this party started, y'all. Y'all, this is gonna be good this morning. I do not want to hold up this awesome man of God, loves the Lord, silly and goofy, but loves the Lord. All right, good morning, Liz. Happy to see you. Good morning, good morning. Oh, this is gonna be good. And I'm gonna be real transparent with y'all. This is gonna be fun. So of course I have been working on securing people for good morning, Derica. My friend is here. Good morning, good morning. I'm so happy to see y'all. So y'all go ahead, come in, like and share. So I'm so glad that I am surrounded. I'm gonna give y'all 2 more minutes to come in and like and share. But I am so glad I have like real male friends around me. It is a blessing. I absolutely love it. I mean, just straight friendship, tell them the truth, they're real with me, and they give me like a real perspective. And so I have been working on like building the guests for the show. And of course, my dear friend didn't know that. And so he asked me, he said, how are you gonna host a Black Man I'm Listening series, but you haven't had any black men on there? I was like, sir, I'm coming. Like, hold on. Pause. Don't come for me. But he had a valid point. However, what I want you all to know is that I'm working on the guest list. We are about to bring some awesome episodes, and they are going to feature black men. Okay, I'm not the only voice that you're going to hear from. So don't worry, don't worry. Yes, yeah. Olivia, you be moving. You be moving. You be moving. Yes, that is a blessing. You need some real brothers around you, that's going to tell you the truth. So we're going to go ahead and get started because we do not have a lot of time this morning. So this morning, I am so excited because I have my friend Anthony Sweezer on here this morning. He is going to co-host with me. And he is just an old country boy from Mississippi that loves the Lord. And that's all that he wanted me to read. I guess, when you read the pastor's bio, he didn't want to sit there like this. So he gave me a short version. Old country boy from Mississippi. So that loves the Lord. So let's go ahead and bring him in this morning. You all give a round of applause for my friend, my buddy, old country boy from Mississippi that loves the Lord, Anthony Sweezer.
Look, don't make me laugh as soon as I get on here.
You're funny. First of all, you did it first because of all that backstage. See, people didn't see what was happening backstage, but that's okay.
They don't need to know about that. They don't need to know about that.
Of course not. We ain't gonna tell everybody. So yes, good morning. Thank you, Joanna, for sharing. Thank y'all so much for coming on and sharing. So we're gonna jump right in it. So Anthony, I'm gonna tell you thank you so much again, really, for coming on the show this morning. I want to give you a bulk of the time. But what I want to share with everybody is we're talking about the Black man's love language, right? And interestingly enough, earlier this morning, I was thinking about how God has a love language too. And we'll talk about that on another segment. But that really hit home for me that everybody has some kind of way to communicate. They have a way that says, hey, I love you, I value you. And I'm gonna tell you a conversation that happened this past weekend. Not to understand why I had to wait before I had the show today. So last week I couldn't have the show because of an emergency I had to deal with. But this weekend I had a conversation with my dad. And I was thinking about how that communication and that interaction took place. So I love my dad. My dad is very transparent about his journey. There's nothing that I'm going to say he doesn't know about and he hasn't shared already. But when we're talking about love language, you're talking about talking to Black men and talking about your journey and how to talk to you. There was some concern on whether or not my dad had relapsed. So that's a hard conversation to have. It's almost, you have to be very careful because you don't want to throw anything back in anybody's face. You don't want to make it seem like, this is all you're subject to. However, if there are certain signs because of care and concern, I'm gonna come to you and I'm gonna ask you straight up, so I can know how to help you. And so, I took my dad out to lunch. We sat down. We had a conversation. And thank you. We have another brother here. I love Justin. Justin is amazing. Thank you, Justin. I appreciate it. And good morning, Kayla. Good morning. Good morning. So when we sat down, we had a conversation and I thought about how I approached him. What I did was I sat him down and, we talked, whatever. I told him how much I loved him, Anthony. I told him how much I cared about him. I told him how thankful I was to see how he looks nothing like what he's been through. And I explained to him that because I love him and because I care about him, this is why I'm inquiring on whether or not you're getting high. And I just asked him straight out. And I said, because I want to know how to pray for you. And if you are still getting high or if you relapse, do you want to stop? Because I think that's an important question to ask. Right. And so, of course, he responded very well. He was very honest. He hadn't relapsed. But what he did share with me is that every day is a struggle. Every day is a journey. He was saying that relapse is a part of progress. So if you relapse, he said what gets people is you relapse and then you beat yourself up because everybody knows you were clean for 25 years. Instead of relapsing, owning the fact that you relapse and then getting right back on the horse, going about your life and going 10, 12, 20, whatever amount of days clean. So all of that to say that he thanked me for how I approached him. Now, what if I would have called him? Are you getting high? Because we think you over there da-da-da-da-da. Because you doing da-da-da-da. The reaction wouldn't have been the same, number one. Number two, I don't think that he would have, it's a possibility that could have sent him into a relapse. So just talking, about Black men, how society communicates with you, how we talk to you, how we treat you. Talk to me about what's important for you as a Black man, because I know everybody's different. You're not speaking for every Black man in America or in the world, but I think your perspective is important. So, go ahead and share with me, what is your love language? How should we talk to you? How should society talk to you? How should we communicate whatever the situation is? And then share an example of when somebody communicated with you wrong and when somebody communicated with you right, so we'll know what that looks like.
Absolutely. You know what? I think I'll take that from the tail end of what you asked and then move back to the first part of what you said. As far as how someone can communicate with me wrong, I think as a man, there's a certain standard that you have to live up to. And it has nothing to do with an ego, but it has everything to do with you being a man. As a man, you are taught or groomed by either your father or society or just life in general to be strong, domineering, to be a leader, to be in charge, to be able to hold weight and to have a deep capacity. And when you fall short of those things, you feel less than a man. And to feel less than a man means to go against everything that you were built to be. And for someone to attack you for making a mistake, it becomes detrimental. It could produce anger. It could produce insecurities because yes, men do have insecurities as well, and there's pressure. When you're a man, you have pressure on you to produce. There's no middle ground. There's no because if you have especially if you have a family, your family depends on you. If
Mm.
you have, and I have a 5-year-old daughter, she depends on me, and you have pressure to produce, and there's no, I
Wow.
can't do it this time, or I'm not sure. It has to be 100%, and so I've had times where I've been just by making a mistake as a man, and the whole quote unquote man thing is actually real because you don't want to make a lot of mistakes as a man because to us it feels like our mistakes are bigger than a woman's mistakes because of the leadership role that we have to play, not just at home but in our lives. So to have our mistake put on a pedestal, it's kind of like but at the same time it's all about, like you said, how you approach us
Yeah.
because I've been involved and had people in my life speak to me a certain way about certain things, and it's all about how you say it. It's all about how you approach me. And a lot of times, let's just be real, when it comes to being a man, it would be easier to approach a man sideways. And the reason
Mm.
I say that is because women do generally look at the man as being stronger. He can take it, he can handle it. So you give
Yeah.
him a little bit more, put a little bit more dip on the chip than you would with
Mm.
anybody else.
Wow.
So, and then that becomes a thing of, to me, it's kind of like a myth because I don't see a man being mentally more stronger. It's just that he's less expressive. So
Mm.
he could be
Wow.
feeling the same pain that you feeling, but he knows how to not express it.
Yeah.
So men are not robots, and we have feelings too. So it's not that we're weak and we gotta cry all the time, but stuff gets to us. We
Yeah.
feel pain, we feel hurt, and I'm sure your dad felt some type of way about having to go through this whole process.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be, especially when you talk about your kids,
Yeah.
you want your children to always look at you as that man with the cape on.
Mm.
You don't ever want your child to, no matter how old they are, whether they 10 or they 30 or 50, you don't
Yeah.
want your child to ever lose that superhero look towards you as a father. And
Wow.
it's a strong thing, it's a hard thing to go through. And so for
Mm.
you to come to him in a humble way, it just softened the blow and made him feel,
Mm.
like, okay, well, she respects me because a man
Wow.
loves respect. We love respect.
Wow, Anthony.
If you give us respect, we'll
Yeah.
give you anything and everything you want. And just to
Mm-hmm.
clarify, ladies, respect is not you do everything we tell you to do. That's not respect because you're
Make it
not our
plain.
slave. Yes, you are not our slaves. So respect is just giving us some honor and some homage for just being who we are. And so whatever role we play in your life, whether it's brother, whether it's
Mm.
father, whether it's uncle, just giving us a due respect because of that, it makes us feel good. So that's
Mm.
all that matters. As long as you can just give us that respect with what you have to say to us, because communication is the key. And I
Yeah.
think it's hard to say what a man's love language is in general, but if I
Yeah.
had to take a stab at it, I would just say that a man's love language is wrapped up in communication and
Mm.
it's wrapped up in action. And I would
Uh,
say communication is number one. How you deal with us will determine everything. How you speak
wow.
to us, how you deal with us when you're angry, how
Yeah.
talk to us when it's something that you don't like or something that you want to see changing. How you deal with us, communicate with us is critical. And that's, to me, that is the most important thing. And the respect and dealing with us in love. And I think also, like I said, with the love language, if I go straight by the book, I would say something like maybe the when you I think I mentioned like doing things, but like
Mhm.
doing things to show us, like when you actually physically go out your way to, give us a gift, or give us something to show, or you know what, I see you going through this, let me give you that. Or
Yeah,
maybe you noticed his work boots are wearing out and you just go buy him some new ones, like little things like that,
interesting.
because it don't take much. When you
Right.
can see a need and you can meet it, it means everything. So just general things like
Wow, sir. You just don't drop the mic like that? That's it?
that. I wanted to give you a chance if you wanted to chime back in.
I think we can close it. I mean, no, that was very insightful. It was very insightful because what what we think, I think sometimes, um, first of all, I just want to acknowledge the fact that I learned a lot. The pressure, I think, to produce. Because the truth of the matter is that we aren't men. Women aren't men. And while we can do our best to try to understand, how to communicate with you, the truth of the matter is that it might be best to just ask. And to ask, well, how do you want me to love you? How do you want me to honor you? What is it, that makes you happy? And that point that you made about meeting the need and showing action, like if you see something or you see that the work boots or whatever, just for an example, that needs to be taken care of, take care of it. Or if you see that he came home tired and he's exhausted and he's probably hungry, draw him a bath or something like that. Your
Yeah.
husband, though, ladies, your husband, not
Yeah.
your boyfriend. Anyway, that's a whole nother topic. But no, I think that's really, really good and that's really important. Um, because what really pains my heart, and I see men get broken down, you can see it on their faces. Like when
Mm,
women, especially when they're in public, I can't stand. And this is just a personal gripe, but I can't stand to see a woman tear a man apart in public, especially if maybe he did something that she didn't like, or
mm-hmm,
maybe he
mm-hmm.
moved a certain way that she didn't like.
Yep.
And more than like, tell me if I'm right or wrong, you may have done it unconsciously. It's not like you intentionally was like, oh, I'm about to embarrass her, or I'm about to, do her wrong, and then to just go off in public in front of everybody and totally
Absolutely.
emasculate him.
Absolutely. I've been a victim before.
Oh
Uh,
no.
I think almost every man at some point has experienced this to some degree, whether it was a relationship or a family member, where a woman literally, kind of tore into you publicly, and it is the
Wow.
worst feeling ever. And I think it goes both ways to see a man tearing into a woman as well. But we talking
Yeah.
about the men right now. This our day, so it's about so.
This
But
y'all series.
yeah,
This
yeah,
y'all
yeah. This
series.
about us. But from the man perspective, it's in times like that, it's your job to keep the peace. It's your job to keep cool, keep a level head, and to
Wow.
not say nothing. Is to say less. It is your job as a man to say less, because you have to understand, when you're dealing with someone, and particularly when a man is dealing with a woman, and if she's upset about something, then you give her time, or just let her have her moment.
Yeah.
There's no point in us going back and forth with you. That I think that doesn't make any sense. Somebody has to be the cool head to prevail,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
it never helps the situation if a man turns up with the woman. That never ends well.
Yeah.
So if she turning up, you turn down. Let her have her moment.
Wow.
As a man, there's so many different codes that are unspoken. There's so many different things that we have to be groomed to do, that are literally not written in a textbook, but of course you can see it in life, and you can see it in the Bible and things like that,
Yeah.
where you know what a man's role should be and how he should
Yeah.
flow. And getting back to the pressure to produce,
Yeah.
if you let that, as a man, if you let that eat at you, then you'll find yourself becoming the man you always never, the man that you never wanted to be. You'll
Wow.
easily wake up one day. If you succumb to pressure, you'll easily wake up one day and find yourself being the man you never wanted to be. Pressure is a powerful thing, and you have to realize that you can't go through life living under pressure. You have to release that thing, and
Wow.
you can't be. There's a higher standard for men. There's a higher standard. God
Mm.
has called you to be the head. So as being the head, you got to be polished and refined. You gotta know what
Wow.
you're doing. You got to know what you're not doing, and you have to be attentive to every single little detail. So
Yeah.
I think it's really important.
Wow. You have Justin, we have Justin in the comments, and he said we all have dealt with being bashed at
Yeah.
some point. And the pressure is a real thing. I can't imagine the type of pressure, that you all experience. Being a black man in America, number
Oh my
one.
God. Oh,
That's a
that's a
whole
whole nother topic right
that's a
there.
whole nother
Oh,
topic.
that's yeah. We'd be on here another 10 minutes if I talked about that. Oh,
You know, and
tell you how many times I got pulled over for nothing. Oh my.
oh, well,
Mm.
for being black, that was the charge. But yeah, but so many pressures, and I would like to continue, these types of conversations, especially because I think that is necessary for people to hear, your voice, hear you all's perspective. Um, Everything that you said this morning, I think was absolutely phenomenal. And make sure you tell Kevin that I listened this morning. Make sure you let him know, Kevin James. I called your name. Um, anyway, it's an inside friend joke, guys.
What up, Kev?
Okay. No, but I definitely heard everything that you said. I appreciate your input. I appreciate you coming on this morning and really sharing that insight. I want to encourage anybody that was here, that was watching, to please like and share this broadcast in this Lord, I'm sorry, I can't even get it out.
Live.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
You see the type of pressure the men are under to keep us like together. Did you see that just now? He gave
I
me a
just
moment.
said,
He was
man, gotta
like,
be attentive. We
she's
gotta be
struggling, but I
focused.
don't want to
Gotta be
interfere. But
focused.
yeah,
Gotta be focused. You gotta be focused, man. You gotta
you
be
know,
focused. Your wife might eat the fruit. You gotta be focused. You gotta be focused.
y'all pay
I'm just kidding.
attention
I'm
now.
kidding. I'm
Y'all
kidding.
pay attention. But no, because I'm thinking about so much. It's crazy because I wrote down some notes that you said from what you said, and honestly, it opened up like this whole new realm of creativity. And I'm really thinking about some other shows that I would like to do, and I would be honored if you would co-host some of those with me, because I think you brought some very, very valuable information, some information that I never probably would have thought of or never would have considered. So I just really, really, really want to thank you. And that is it for this morning. Just know that we're coming with more. This is our Black Man I'm Listening series. And Anthony, I definitely think that you brought it this morning. You definitely gave some very, very strong
Thank
insight.
you. Thank you.
And Latasha said that this was a good conversation, so it is definitely confirmed. And I want you all to also invite some of the black men that are in your lives and your family to these conversations, so that this won't be one sided. Because I want to make sure that we're getting both perspectives. So this has been I Am My Morning Coffee, where God is our barista, praise and worship is our creamer of sugar, and that was in the form of conversation this morning. And Mr. Anthony Sweezer was our morning coffee. So thank you so very much for joining us this morning. And you all take care, and you have a wonderful and blessed day. And this has been I Am My Morning Coffee.